Hi, my name is Bill, and I'll be guiding you through the installation of the Race Ready Performance electric cutout, the only cutout on the market that offers a lifetime warranty. As you can see, we've got a 2.5-inch model here that includes a Y pipe and band clamps. When your package arrives, it'll come very nicely packed with all the individual parts. And as we look at each particular box and start taking the parts out, these are your stainless steel band clamps for no rust. In this box we have the Y pipe, which will go in between the section of exhaust pipe that we cut out. And in this box we have the exhaust flange, or exhaust gasket I should say. You have this package that contains your wiring harness, your control switch, all the hardware and fuses you need for the connection, and last but not least, you have the Race Ready Performance 2.5-inch cutout. And once everything's laid out, you can get all your parts in order and take a look and see how well things are going to look on the install. The tools you need are fairly common. You just need some tools to do some minor electrical connections to either the switch circuit on a fused switch circuit in your accessory panel, or you can wire directly to the battery. You'll need a 9/16" deep well socket, a 9/16" end wrench or crescent wrench. You need some zip ties, a measuring tape, and then obviously we'll need to find a way to cut the existing part of the exhaust pipe out, and we can use one of these. If you have access to a powered reciprocating hacksaw, your job will become infinitely easier for this install section. This is the car we'll be putting this on. This is a 2004 Ford F150 pickup truck, 4x4 with an 8-inch lift kit, and we'll start with the switch installation on this car by using an existing accessory plate that already has some modifications in it and made a perfect location for us to put the switch into this car. So once all this was removed, we're going to be putting the switch where the index finger is. Now we've transferred from a template the area that needs to be cut out of this accessory plate to install the switch. In our case, we used a Dremel and went little by little to make sure we had exactly the right tolerances. And finally, we're able to get the switch to fit exactly and perfectly into this slot. Now in this photo you can see, in this section, you can see the switch has been installed back into the accessory plate, and we're ready to put it back into the vehicle. First we need to take the wiring harness and run it up through the center stack to bring the electrical connector up through the area where the switch is going to go back. This simply is a plug that will be used to plug back in the control switch to this section of the wiring harness. And beyond that, that's all that's necessary. And once that's connected, all you need to do is to bring the area back in, snap the panel back in place, and we're actually done with that part of the installation. Now we do need to go up through and clean up our wire and get the wire that we're going to run down to the cutout. You can either go through the floor or you can go through the firewall. In this case, we found it easier and more accommodating to go through the floor on this truck. And peeling the carpet back, we found a very large electrical grommet, which all we needed to do was put a slit in it and run the cutout connecting wire through that slit into that grommet down through to the bottom of the truck. And once we've got all that connected, for now we've just simply loosely draped it over the transmission, the spinning parts of the transmission, over by the exhaust shield and that section of the exhaust pipe that we're going to be cutting out. We've pre-marked the area that's going to be cut by using blue tape, which is the length of the Y pipe. Make sure we have enough room. Now this gets pretty loud, so I won't talk as much. Alright, we've made it through the front section now. We're ready to cut the back section out. Same procedure. always want to encourage you to use extreme safety when working underneath your car. So now we're ready to put the Y-pipe in place after we get the band clamps assembled. And notice the pressure plate that goes onto the two bolts. In this section we're just showing a temporary situation for fitting to make sure that we have enough room between the front and the rear of the exhaust pipe for the band clamps to fit properly. Now you'll see in this section here that we do put this pressure plate onto the bolts. This is absolutely mandatory that you do this because this is what applies the pressure evenly and equally to the band clamp and tightens down onto the exhaust pipe. While tightening down the band clamps, you want to alternate between the front bolt and the rear bolt and apply even pressure to both to make sure that you have an exhaust free leak or a non-leaking exhaust section. And once these are down, there should be no leaks of exhaust at all. We also do the same on the rear. And once all those bolts are down, we're now ready to put on the cutout itself. One of the very nice things about this cutout, you'll notice, are the slots on the exhaust plate itself. This allows a great deal of freedom in being able to rotate the exhaust cutout up or down in varying amounts in order to be able to make sure that the cutout does not be the lowest point on the car or the bottom part of the car, and to keep it away from a heat source. Now that we have it installed, we're ready to run a preliminary check, and after the wiring has been connected, we go back through and use zip ties to clean up some of the wiring and make sure that it does not get involved in the drivetrain or any spinning parts, and is as far away from a heat source as possible. In this particular case, we used a 3M Scotch inline connector and used an existing switched accessory panel to power the cutout. You can also run yours directly through the firewall and make a direct connection to the battery if you wish. It's time for the test. And it appears everything is working right, which leaves us the only thing left to do: take it for a drive and run it. We hope you found this video informative and helpful. And if you have any questions whatsoever, you want to make sure to visit the Race Ready Performance website. You can call them on their toll-free number. You can send an email or visit the website for more specific information that you'll find very helpful on their website. And I've shown you the email address, the phone number, and the website. Good luck on installing yours, and I hope you enjoy your Race Ready Performance cutouts. It's a great product.